Welcome to www.staxi.com. Today's topic, a different kind of wheelchair company raises the bar in transport chairs. One of the truisms of any type of product manufacturer is that after a time, innovation stops. This can happen with any producer, from a wheelchair company to a car manufacturer. In fact, the automobile industry is an excellent example. Any product begins with innovation, even fire or the wheel. For a people who primarily experience fire as a threat to life and limb, it took great bravery and no little skill to accept and then develop it as something that could be controlled in such a manner that it would heat homes and food. It took quite a long time beyond that innovation before anyone came up with a combustion engine, at least anyone who survived. But once it was accepted, it was worked on and worked out until it worked really well. And then it was left alone until economics and the environment caused a move towards an engine that used less and less fuel. Even now that process is being refined and innovated, but there may come a day once again when good enough is reached and new ideas are shunted aside in order to not fiddle with something that's working. This is the same problem that besets most wheelchair companies. They are slowly acceding to the ideas put forth by those who essentially live and work in their products on a daily basis, and making changes to allow greater independence and freedom of movement. There's not been a similar reaction in the field of institutional development. The philosophy tends to be that it has worked this long, so why change it? Plus, there would be some higher than normal initial costs, and many people cannot see beyond that to the long-term savings in product, man-hours, and personnel wear and tear. Fortunately, not all wheelchair companies have this view. There is a product increasingly gaining popularity on the market as more and more hospitals, care institutions, airports, and even the occasional mall comes to see the advantages and realize how small the upfront cost is compared to the overall savings. Several things have been wrong with standard wheelchairs in an institutional setting, and finally, a wheelchair company has addressed this. The biggest problem is that due to their nature, transport chairs in any public setting are prone to theft. Up until recently, the only way to cope with that was to buy cheaper chairs that cost less to replace, but with a shorter lifespan. The solution instead is a slightly more expensive chair that's nestable and therefore can be securely locked in place. This chair, in addition to being far more sturdy than many standard chairs, is also designed so that it cannot be propelled by the occupant but only an attendant. At first blush, this would seem to increase strain on personnel, when one considers that medical and legal regulations generally require people being transported to and fro in a hospital or airport to be attended by an employee. This actually reduces the risk of someone who should not be left alone, going off under their own power and harming themselves or someone else. The reduced litigation costs will pay for several chairs. To find out more information on topics like this, please go to www.staxi.com.